right, it looks like Brady gave your Bills offense an injection of life, and with it, the whole team. I kind of felt like that was going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to last. There's some good stuff that I saw from Brady. I need the all 22 to go back and really analyze how he called, but there is clearly some good stuff that I liked. When Brady was with LSU, with Burrow and Chase, he had an ability to create route combinations to get guys in space. I believe I saw some of that today. But there was a strong commitment to the run game. And that commitment to the run game is what I've been talking about. Now, it's not exactly the way I had hoped, but clearly it was a winner for you guys. This is a big first step in turning the season around, and you knocked the Jets to the bottom. I like that. My Dolphins, we won. We're 7-3. You guys won at 6-5. And now the Jets are 4-6. And I don't know, even if Rodgers makes the miracle comeback, it's going to be enough. And that kind of puts a smile on my face. So thank you. Now, I had said all year, Bills and Dolphins week 18 are going to be a major battle for the whole enchilada. It's a long climb for you guys. You got a very tough schedule, but there's obstacles in front of the Dolphins, even though they have the lead. So I do think this is going to play out where these two teams meet, and that's going to be spectacular. So I'm going to cover today's game. I'll go over quickly what I saw. I'm going to do a deeper dive later on in the week, but to kind of talk about how the move towards Brady and what he was kind of calling compared to Dorsey kind of helped to launch you guys against the Jets and how the overall game looked. And there's a lot of good stuff, but there's also some concerning parts. The first one, obviously, is injuries. Terrible to see another Bill gets put in the car and taken off. Thankfully, he didn't go to the hospital, and that was Rapp, your safety. What a shame. I hate to see that. And then Johnson, and I believe it was Benford also went down too. This whole defense, but this secondary is getting hit so hard. It's really a weird thing to see this many injuries. Now, on the flip side, I got to give Bean huge amounts of credit. Rasul Douglas, 2 ins, 3 pass deflections. What a move to get this guy. And he's playing at a higher level than Tre'Davious White was the last couple of years before after the injury. So this is a major, major win, kind of compensating, but you can't keep getting these injuries. And so that's the only concern. Defense, as you're seeing across the league, this league is making a move as far as talent cycles and coordinators figuring out how to stop the fun ball. And defense, as the weather gets worse and worse, run game and defense play a much bigger role. Now, you got to stay healthy, but the great news is Brady called 27 carries. And this is a big piece of the recipe that I said for you guys over the last 3 years of covering you. Now, 17 runs for 4.3 by Cook, 10 for 3.5 by Murray, and 5 by Allen. So overall, it was like 32 plus another couple here or there. This led to you guys having 36.5 51 seconds time of possession compared to 23:09. Now, the Jets have a terrible offense. And you got to hold that into account. But you played them the first time and you went total fun ball and you lost. Now, you were home and all that, but you can see this commitment to the run game, how the offensive line can block, and how it settles Allen down. Allen had a pretty good day, not a great day. There was some pressure early on. I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but he had a darn good day. 20 for 32, 275, 8.6, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack. There was a couple of really, like finger-biting plays there, but he made these plays happen. He drove this offense behind this run game, and it was critical. Shakir, 3 for 115. My man Tommy, Mafia Sports Report, must be really happy. He told me last year, he's like, you got to look for this guy, Shakir. Tommy, you were right, brother. So defense, obviously, is the key component to your team. But when you marry that run game to the defense, is giving these guys a break. They probably got about 5 to 6 minutes rest. And after a couple of games, that actually equates out to almost a half a game or a full game. And as it gets deeper and deeper, defense becomes more important. So this rest is going to play a big part. Now, I'm going to get into defense in a second. My only concern with Brady, and I was talking to my buddy who lives in Rochester, a Bills fan. He said he heard somewhere on like the local radio shows that Allen doesn't like to be under center. I don't know if that's true. Can you guys put that down in the comments? Because to me, under center, when you have formation diversity and you can run, I mean, it was Tony Romo even said what I had been saying for a while, that when you hand off of the shotgun, you have very limited areas of attack. He didn't talk about how it is easier to diagnose, which I had mentioned, but he was saying that under center, taking snaps from there and mixing it with a shotgun really creates a much more difficult offense to stop. So I hope Allen isn't he's not trying to pull away from this on the center stuff and kind of getting the OCs to go away from it, because this would help him out and this offense a ton. And I think it would be foolish on his part. I don't know if it's true or not, but the commitment to the run, and if you could just add this under center, you could see the offensive line can block. They can move guys. This Jets defense, despite the terrible offense, is a good defense. Now, they got tired later on. You got to add that in context. But this was an exceptional day by the offense. But the defense is very, very good. It can stay healthy. Floyd, 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 hits. And I said, Rasul Douglas, and your 2 linebackers actually are really playing well. Bernard and Dotson really stepping in for Milano being out, playing very, very well. Rousseau does his job. Miller, it's going to take some time. If he can finally get himself healthy just before that playoff push, it's going to be exceptional. This defense can play some ball. And, there was some penalties. I didn't like the penalties, 8 penalties for 71. But, you won a turnover battle 4-1. There's a lot of good stuff. But this Jets team is a substandard team on offense when you factor in awesome defense and a substandard offense. Good win, but now we get to see against the Eagles. And then KC after that. To me, you got to win the KC game. You can drop some of these. You don't have to win every single game throughout. You can maybe drop this Eagles game, play it close, get a good moral victory, and then go take KC and win them down the road. That KC game, I think, is critical. It will be very interesting to see how Brady and this offense and his defense, if they're healthy enough, how they stack up against the Eagles. But Bills fans, my team is doing their job. Your team is starting to do your job. This week 18 could be phenomenal football for AFC East aficionados. And I hope it is. I hope it comes down to winner takes all for the division week 18. Long road for you guys, but if you keep going this way with the running attack and just add more of that under center stuff, you guys can be in there. It'll be interesting to see how my team does next week on the short week on Black Friday against the Jets. But excellent game, guys. You're headed in the right direction. Not perfect, but getting there. It'll be very interesting to see. So I'll get you more coverage this week. I'm going to break down the old 22 and get a real feel for what Brady was doing. I did like it. I felt, again, it was a little inconsistent, but that second half, he started to make some nice adjustments. Anyway, Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. See you soon.